Hello users, and welcome back to Above It All. This is a series in which I make videos about political people, and don't tell anyone though, I'm often very mean. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes I can be rude. Some would even consider me nasty. I've gotten many comments about how I'm so divisive and my rhetoric is too toxic. But, what are you going to do? As long as they're not sending these snake emojis, I think I'll be able to take it. I think I'll be able to handle this. I know, it really is like one of those things where it's like, yeah, healthcare is important, right? Like, people should have healthcare. But, it's one of those things where, if they send me a snake emoji, it's just like, it's hard to balance these two things, right? Like, on one hand, there are 68,000 people that die, like their life ends, they lose their life. I don't know how else to explain this in words that people can understand these days because people are so desensitized, but 68,000 people lose their life. Like their life comes to an untimely end. It's over. It's not like you can bring it back, right? Like when you die, it's over. So their lives are over every year, annually, right? And, I dedicated my career to helping that, right? But on the other hand, some people sent me some snake emojis. So it really is hard to balance these two things. Like my innate desire to help the poor people in this society versus I need to take some time for self-care. When Harriet Tubman was doing the Underground Railroad, we all know that the famous 4-month gap she took where she just went, she needed some time for self-care, right? She went to the hotel up in, wherever, and, she was just lounging. She got a mani-pedi, right? We all remember this. We need time for self-care. Yeah, the Underground Railroad, that's important and all, but you really do need to dedicate some time to yourself every once in a while, especially if you're in a position like that. We all remember, this is the thing with Abraham Lincoln. He was taking some time for self-care, going to watch a movie, and that's where they got him. You know what I mean? People really don't like when you're taking this time away from helping people to just, to give and they send you the snake emojis, and again, it's just 68,000 people might die every year. 68,000 families might lose a loved one for the rest of eternity. But the snake emojis, man, you just really got to take those mental health days. So it's just one of those things. So if y'all wanted an update as to what Elizabeth Warren has been up to, I saw this the other day. I bookmarked it, and I was like, I got to talk about this. So I'm just going to read this. I looked for a quote, but I can't find anything without paying money for a subscription to whatever. So if y'all have an actual video clip of this, feel free to let me know. The vice president, when he talks, reminds us of good and decent leadership. He reminds us that President Obama saw us through a crisis starting back in 2009 with steady, thoughtful, smart leadership. And that's what I think we can expect from Vice President Biden. Reminder that Elizabeth Warren said that she dedicated her reason for getting into the Senate was to combat specifically Joe Biden. She has said multiple times that the bailout that Obama provided for corporations and not the people wasn't enough, that it was bad. She has said multiple times that inequality that strengthened and went even higher during the Obama-Biden administration is a bad thing for people, that it causes so many people to die because they don't have health insurance. She has said that Obamacare wasn't enough. But now all of a sudden, just like that, she flips the fucking script, and now Joe Biden's a great guy. Yeah, sure, he raped a woman, right? But it's he's a rapist, but they sent me snake emojis. So, it's one of those things where, again, it's a really difficult, you have to really sympathize and empathize with Elizabeth Warren, right? On one hand, she's fighting for all this justice, but then, people are sending her snake emojis, right? And it's just, it's unbelievable. And you can't, it's really, again, it's really difficult to just, she's got such resolve. You know what they say, nevertheless, she persisted, right? Warren on Biden in new SiriusXM interview. Every time he has a chance to talk, I'm reminded, though, he is a good and decent man. Yeah, sure, he forgets what day it is. He forgets what year it is. And he forgets what he's talking about. But he's a good and decent man. Yeah, sure, he raped someone, But he's a good guy. And as a leader, he would not be putting himself first. He would be putting first the interests of the American people. This is one of those things where, again, Elizabeth Warren, and I'm just going to drop the whole shtick, Elizabeth Warren is a scumbag. She is a homicidal, psychopathic, fucking careerist, cocksucker cunt. And I hate her. I have a visceral, burning, passionate rage and anger and hatred directed solely at her. She was, without a doubt, right? When you look at strategy, when you look at how things work, she was the biggest enemy in the 2020 campaign. You know, whatever happens from this point on, right? Bernie had a real shot, right? He had a real shot to nail this thing by Super Tuesday. And Elizabeth Warren, she was the one who we should have spent more time going after. AOC doing this whole, like, oh my God, this is legendary. She's dancing. Like, that whole thing, that was the death nail. That was the death nail. And it's in this fucking dumb, selfish cunt who has got a history and a career of lying and conniving and just whatever. How did she manage to gaslight people into thinking she was worth anything more than what she actually is? She is garbage. Like, and again, I say this with pure, I mean this. She is a terrible person. In 2016, she played her hand to destroy the one chance at a progressive movement of gaining power. And then in 2020, she did the same fucking thing. And it's just the fact that there are still people in the Bernie camp, or even people that even remotely like, oh yeah, I'm a Marxist, and you take Elizabeth Warren seriously, I implore you, read a book, go outside, talk to real people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but like, again, Harriet Tubman didn't take like a 3-year vacation during the Underground Railroad, like just to get a mani-pedi and fucking, oh, I really need some time for self-care. Like, no, you're an elected official. Oh, she doesn't owe you anything, is what people say. Actually, she is a public servant. So actually, her entire job is dedicated to us, the people, the constituencies. Like, she is just such a vile scumbag. This is one of those things where it's, again, the white moderate, as Martin Luther King said, you know, the liberal, the person who tells you that they're on your side, the person who lets you know, like, I'm on your side, man. But it drops your guard. At least the conservatives say, yeah, we want to kill gay people, and that's what we're going to do. That's what our policy is going to be based around, is the slow, steady genocide of gay people. All right, I won't vote for you. But the liberal will tell you, oh no, I love gay people. My nephew is gay. I'm not going to strip away your rights. I'm just going to make it so you can't have health care, and then you die. But you can still get married. Don't worry. My nephew is gay. Oh, the liberal, the most disgusting kind of person that would ever even possibly exist in our society is the liberal. The people who say they're something, but their actions don't say what their words are saying. And as we know, actions speak louder than words. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on Elizabeth Warren. Still as disgusting, still as homicidal as she ever was, boosting a rapist, saying he's a good guy. A rapist. Someone who raped a woman. But no, he's a good and decent guy? No. 68,000 people die every year because they don't have health insurance. Have you ever thought about getting snake emojis on Twitter? I mean, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, sure, your mother's dead. You will never see her for the rest of your life. But like, I got snake emojis in my Twitter notifications. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to figure out which one is worse on an objective level. So, I mean, I guess I'll just, I guess rape is okay now because snake emojis, whatever the fuck. I fucking hate her. I really fucking hate her, dude. She's such a, oh, God, it's so frustrating. Jesus.